Hey everyone, this is Lynn Wilson at Lynn Wilson Originals in Mills River, North Carolina, and today I'm doing a little holiday decorating. Creating little boxes, which I think would be perfect for homemade cookies if I cooked, but maybe store-bought cookies. And I painted Harlequin on the top, and it's probably, I'm going to show you on this one, I'm hoping that it turns out Harlequin. It might turn out squares. Because of the shape, but we'll see. So what I've done so far, this red is Dixie Belle's Barn Red, and the white is Fluff, and the gold is Modern Masters, and I put the gold around the edge here. I really like gold and red, especially around this time of year. So let me pull this down and show you what I'm going to do. So here is my surface that I'm going to start taping off, and it also has the gold around the edge. And usually if I'm doing Harlequin, I take a ruler or a yardstick and I draw my lines so I can get my tape super straight. But in this case, because it's so small, I'm thinking that I can just try to freehand it, and if it doesn't work out, then I'll just paint over it because it's so tiny. So I want to envision a rectangle here. So I'm hoping that I get the Harlequin shape. And I'll just be using a piece of tape here to measure my distance. But if this was a bigger piece, I would definitely want to have drawn my lines. Because it's easy, like right there, there's a little tiny space. It's easy to get off with the tape. And if you have a large surface, it can compound. But I don't think it's going to be a problem with this. Actually, I think I'm going to see if I can turn this light on. It might be a little bit brighter. I have to picture my rectangle again. And you want to burnish your tape really well, which is just to press down on the edges so that paint doesn't seep underneath it. So I'm going to press my edges down real well. And this is Dixie Belle's Barn Red. And I'm painting over Fluff. And I'm painting away from the direction of my tape. So I'm going to try to dry this with a hair dryer. Hopefully I don't blow everything away. So I want to get a second coat on here to just make the red more even. We're still seeing a lot of the white underneath. I left this paint sitting out with the cap or with the lid undone. It feels like it's gotten a little thick. The nice thing about Dixie Belle paint, they are water-based, so you can always add a little water to get it a little bit thinner. And if you haven't painted with Dixie Belle, another nice feature is there are no VOCs. So you can paint inside. You know, I could paint upstairs in the house and there's no odor. So now I'm going to lift my tape. It's hard to see which one is on top. You want to lift your tape while your paint is still wet. So I'm going to dry this a little bit more because I'm going to be putting my tape back over where I just painted. Okay, so that's fairly dry. And now I'm just going to cover up what I just painted. And I can still see the dark underneath the tape. So I'm going to go over those lines as well. And I'm paying pretty close attention to see that I'm getting the points to meet. You can see on this one, I got a little lucky actually. They met very well, but that doesn't always happen. And then when I do, like here, it doesn't quite meet. And I may do that with this one, is get a stencil little round circles and just do little round circles where they're meeting. In fact, I think little gold circles would look really cute on this because of the gold. It's always better when you're painting, particularly with chalk paint, to do more coats of thin layers of paint than one thick layer. And these are just little wooden boxes. I think that they probably came from a craft store. This has 3 coats of the Barn Red. And I primed them with Dixie Belle Boss. It blocks odors, stains, and stops bleed through, which none of those were really going to be a problem for me with this, but it was, the wood is pretty porous, and so I did that so it didn't just suck up my paint as soon as I put it on. And it definitely helped because I did some wooden boxes last week and I didn't use Boss, and the wood kind of got fuzzy on me. Don't really know a better way to say it, but I think the Boss just sealed the wood, because this stuff is not, this wood isn't sealed. Let's see. I'm gonna put one more coat on. I did 3 coats on here. So now I've got my little box for goodies for the holidays. Questions, just put them in the comments. I'll be happy to answer. I also have a blog on painting Harlequin on my website. Have a great afternoon. Bye-bye.